Anyways, man, guys, welcome to a new episode of A Million of the Moon, man. I just want to start. Can I start off with something today, man?
Please go
And
ahead. You have
maybe
my
I'll
permission.
follow up with a question for you so you can kind of have your input. And but
Absolutely. Yeah.
look, man, I just want to congratulate the crypto community, but not only the crypto community, specifically the Hex community, for holding the coin with the most decorrelated or holding the most decorrelated asset, man. Right now, we're definitely reacting to differently than what all these other
It's
crypto
completely unique.
shit coins are out there, man. So like I just want to ask you, man, what are we saying with that? Do you agree? Like how decorrelated are we right now from the market, and what do we need to actually get there?
Well, you know what, man? I would have to say that we're kind of looking a little bit correlated with the rest of the market.
How so, man? How
Well,
so?
Bitcoin is crashing, and Hex is also crashing at the
Definitely.
same time. So
There's a bit of a correlation
there's a
there,
bit of a
definitely.
correlation. Yeah.
Man, look, all crypto's falling, man, and we do think it's obviously, we're not the. I do think we're the smartest analysts out there in
Yeah,
crypto and outside
100%.
of
We can
crypto.
read the future
100%, man.
I would say not perfectly, but to the 99th percentile, I would say.
Definitely, definitely, man.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna talk about today, man? We're gonna talk
Well,
about Hex. Are we
yeah.
going to 1 cent? Are we going to sub 0 cent? Or are we gonna find? Is this the local bottom, man? That's what everyone's actually asking about these days.
Look, man, in my opinion, again, it seems like we are pretty correlated with Bitcoin, at the very least, psychologically speaking. The more Bitcoin crashes, if we start to definitively lose 30K here, and in fact, if we can zoom in here to the real short term, you can see that Bitcoin is in this really perfect, exact consolidation range here. And should we put in a higher high or a lower low, that will really determine kind of the next macro move here, but not just a fake out. We want to see daily candles, one or two opening, closing on a higher high or a lower low to really
Right.
determine the next macro move here. And should we confidently lose 30K, then yeah, man, we could go to 27, we could go to 25, we can go to 23. And should Bitcoin do that, it's probably going to spook the market. It's going to negatively affect market sentiment. It's going to lower the amount of new participants within the market, which all can negatively affect Hex for sure.
Definitely. No, look, man, I do think, man, there's a lot of people are talking about this. This ain't no local bottom for Bitcoin, man. I think there's something's gonna happen soon, especially with the, what we're seeing right now on the chart, on the Bitcoin chart, basically. I do think, man, there's a leg down coming up, man. If you go to these lower time frames, looks like things are squeezing up pretty well. If you go to whatever you had before, looks like, man, it is squeezing hard. Sometime soon, we're gonna witness something happen with Bitcoin. My thing is, I don't really think it's gonna be a positive thing, but let's just see how the market reacts. I do look, it's just stagnating there, just telling us there's a lot of fear happening. The bulls are trying their best to actually maintain that price action, but man, to be honest, man, there's so much happening outside of crypto, guys, that you got to keep in mind, man. Even yesterday, right, the Nasdaq fell off even more. Snapchat put up that they're not gonna make their projected earnings for the year or something like that, and
Mm.
that kind of signified that the whole tech sector, including Bitcoin and crypto, are kind of posed for some sort of a continued falling there, man. I just hope that Michael Saylor is gonna buy more Bitcoin at these levels, man. Just saves us all.
I think Michael Saylor is actually in the red. I think his average entry is around 31K. But look, man, just to piggyback on what you're saying, there's talks of global recession. The stock market is doing bad. The dollar's been acting very strong. There's global supply chain shortages. There's global conflict. The global picture is risk off, and that has a trickle down effect, as a domino effect. It's what we're seeing here with Bitcoin. It's what we're seeing here with Hex. And should Bitcoin be susceptible to a major macro move downwards, you best believe that that's probably going to negatively impact Hex as well. Although, again, the proponents of Hex, and as I love Hex. Hex is my number one largest position. Would argue that due to Hex's low liquidity, all it really takes is one major whale to come in and market execute $5-10 million for us to kind of have a nice recovery rally here. But you let me know, man. In my opinion, I think like really makes sense that we could visit this 6.5 cent range here, just under 7 cents here, maybe about 6.5 cents, roughly speaking.
Definitely.
And should that fail, in my opinion, the worst case scenario is a 95% correction. We've seen 95% corrections before with Ethereum and a lot of altcoins in the bear market. And a 95% correction from all-time high with Hex would lead us to about 2.5 cents. There is historical support there. So I would believe that this is ultimately the worst case scenario. Am I saying the worst case scenario is gonna happen? No, what I'm saying is that's probably the worst case scenario in my opinion.
100%. Look, I do think obviously we saw a bunch of whales drama happening the past couple of weeks, and we saw some people that actually dropping a big bags of hex on the market, and obviously we're here now. If I don't know if you have the VPVR or no, but I do think that even us along the way, if we are actually to fall that 95% down to the 2 cent, I think we're gonna have a big major stop at the 5 cent region first, and I think that's where we're going to be the next local bottom. Again, if it's here at the 7-8 cents or at the 5 cents, we're almost there, man. At the end of the day, we're doing a 10x backwards, so it doesn't really matter. Everybody did a 10x this cycle, but it was actually to the bottom, and we gotta understand that, man. But I do think right now, we did think that the support on for hex is going to be somewhere around the 10 cent to 15 cent region. Looks like the big bear whales are trying to drive the price action down. Obviously, even right now, Richard is doing his marketing rounds. He's going to different podcasts. He's talking to different people. He said it best. He's doing his marketing. That's all he can do right now. So let's just see if that brings in more people to the space. And what do you think, man? Do you think that the market is kind of thinned out? Is it thinned out? Like, do we need now more capital coming in, or do we need more capital or newer fresh buyers, or is whatever we have currently within the hex space is enough to push this price even further, man? Because I know a lot of people. I don't want to call someone out, but even Trevin, is that what his name is? Trevin? He's like the funny Trayvon, is that what his name? I don't know. He's on anyways at TRVON. I don't know. He said he's buying at these levels as well, man. So a lot of people are buying.
Yeah, Trayvon has a long-term outlook. If you're buying here over the long term, yeah, in my opinion, if you believe in the thesis of hex, this is a net, eventually going to be a highly profitable purchase. Because if you believe in hex, you believe that it's just a matter of time before we reach all-time highs and a price discovery once again. So sure, yeah, 100% here, buying here eventually will be highly profitable. But in the short term, there is the real potential. Will that potential manifest? Maybe, maybe not. But there is the real potential for a little bit further downside, short term, perhaps to about, again, 6.5 cents.
Because look at that VPVR too, right? The next bump is at the 5 cent region.
Yeah, the next bit of volume here is between 5 to 6 cents. You're right. Yeah, 100%. So again, there's multiple ways of calling support / resistance. You could judge off price action. You could judge off volume. You could use both. But bottom line is around this area, 5 to about 7 cents. That's the next major support level here with hex, and we're really not that far. So could we fall, a little bit down here, especially if Bitcoin starts to break down? I would say something like that is very likely if Bitcoin decides to break down. But ultimately, man, this is all a temporary situation. If we look at kind of the macro picture here with Bitcoin real quick, we can see that bear markets have always historically only lasted roughly a year. So, I mean, folks, this is just a waiting game. If you believe that hex has long-term sustainable intrinsic value, as I believe, then this is just a waiting game. I mean, how far are we into
just a discounted price, basically,
this bear market? Yeah, we're 250 days in. Maybe we have another 100 days or so of bear market, and then it's up into the right.
100%.
In my opinion, if you believe in the thesis, yeah.
Yes, I do think, hey, the drop happened. We're already down this amount. A couple more percentages would make sense. Especially, we always look at the VPVR. I think that's where that's the Bible for us, or for me at least. That's where I like to see. That's where the most trading activity happened. Looks like somewhere between the 5 cents. In my opinion, we're heading there. That's where the previous breakout happened. So previous breakout happened, and that's where the most trading volume happened locally right now. The big trading volume that happens was way back in the day at the sub-cent regions. I don't think we're gonna get there unless these big whales start to. A lot of people have been end-staking prematurely, man. I see it on the hex
the hex whale bot, man.
The hex whale bot is
some funny ass unstakes, man. Where people like stake for 555 Quattro Cinco, and then the next day they'll merge the unstake, and it's like 10.
That's what I saw. I'm hoping that was a mistake, because I saw like there was like a 50,000 hex staked for 555 days,
and they lose
and they lose it all the next day, man. What's going on with you people, man?
Yeah,
I think there should be. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of disclaimer, but put 2 disclaimers, man. Put
There
a
is a
couple more,
disclaimer.
like put four. God damn, because it's either the. but man, on the other side, if you got what I saw last time was like 4 million hex staked for 31 days. I think that was yesterday, and he had. I think it was like 34,000 hex in terms of interest, which is crazy. If you're a whale and you got a bit of, you can commit for like a month or so, you can make a couple 10,000s, man. It's not a problem if you're a big whale,
Yeah,
which
and
is
guys,
interesting.
look, this is not the complete historical price action of Hex, but you got to understand that we're still quite up a lot overall. And Hex did indeed do a 10,000x. And if you look at how other cryptocurrencies have performed historically, we have diminishing returns every bull cycle. So if we did a 10,000x this time, what can we do a 5,000x, a 2,000x next time? At
Yeah,
least that's the optimistic picture. People have questions as to whether or not that kind of growth is sustainable, and it's ultimately an
definitely.
open question. But if I definitely think that next time around, next bull market, sometime likely into 2025, that is when we're going to see this kind of crazy price action again. Whether that's a 10x, 100x, 1,000x, 10,000x, that's yet to be seen. We're going to find out. We all have theories and opinions, but reality will show us exactly how parabolic we can get. I do believe sometime 2025 for Hex.
So
So
hold on, you're saying sometime 2025 we're gonna have
is
the
the
next
next
leg
parabolic
up
blow
for
off top.
Hex? For
Is the
Hex?
next parabolic blow off top. Could we recover? Could we flatten out and see a 2x, a 5x, a 10x? Yeah, but for us to see really insane parabolic growth, I would think that would take sometime sometime into the next bull market peak, which should be sometime in 2025, maybe end of 2025.
Well, man, there you have it, folks, man. That's you heard it from the best, man. And we're the best out there, man. Let us know in the comment section below if there's anything you agree or disagree with. Are we really a decorrelated niche? Is that something we gotta go back and forth about, or are we just gonna get in shit because of us saying that, and we can't really talk about a godly asset like
Well,
that,
you
man?
just
What
got to
do you
read the chart. Oh, but then again, we're not allowed to read charts, right? Because charts are
for plebs?
they're bad. You can't.
I never really understood what plebs mean, man.
I
What's a
don't know, but
pleb?
you
Or
know what's weird?
furo?
How
Furo,
does
like furo or something? What's FURU?
no pleb just means like you just don't know what you're doing. But I find that it's weird that Richard. How did Richard call the top if he didn't look at a chart, if he didn't understand technical analysis?
I think it's
I just think that's kind of
intuition. He
weird, right?
meditates a lot.
Yeah, you think it was just intuition?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because
He didn't look at a chart. Like
no,
we don't.
no,
If anyone says
charts are
anything about,
useless.
if
Yeah.
anything says anything bad about Hex, we don't pull up the chart the first thing, right? It's not what we do. You know what? I'm looking for the guy that did the regression line. What was his name?
Oh, Gerardo, the
The
rainbows.
Gerard. Where's that at, man? I was trying to find it a lot, but
But
it's not there.
I think he admitted that it was like a flawed model. I think I don't know. I don't want to speak for him. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Share the video, folks. Our links for all our socials are down in the description below. Do you have
Are
any
you
final
accusing
words?
me of stealing the $5 in that ticker? Is
I have
going down
no
there?
idea
It's
what you're
like,
talking about. I'm just saying
okay.
there's an internal investigation. We're going to find out. I'm not accusing
Thank you
anyone of
guys.
anything.
Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Take care.